Ladies and gentlemen, thanks for joining us for another edition of our 6 p.m. news over Camdis Television. Let's begin with our headlines. Preparations have intensified in Yaoundé ahead of Pope Leo XIV's historic visit to Cameroon from April 15th to 18th, 2026. The city is abuzz with activity as authorities, church leaders, and volunteers work to ensure a welcoming environment. This April 7 marks the 78th anniversary of the World Health Organization, a milestone highlighting its role in advancing global public health. For Cameroon, the World Health Organization has contributed significantly to improving healthcare systems, disease prevention, and public health initiatives across the country. You have these stories and more in a bit. Thanks once more for joining us. We begin the news at the National Assembly, where in a significant boost to Cameroon's diplomatic effort, the Speaker of the House, the Right Honorable Theodore Ndato, has emphasized the country's diplomatic or parliament's commitment to strengthening ties with Turkey and China to drive people-oriented development initiatives. This was during separate audiences granted to the Turkish ambassador, His Excellency Volkan Özkeper, and the Chinese ambassador, His Excellency Zhu Hong, at the Speaker's Cabinet this Tuesday, April 7th, 2026. Bertrand Tita and Elise Yanda.
The discussions revisited long-standing bilateral cooperation and fine-tuned plans for Cameroon-Turkey parliamentary friendship groups visit to Ankara and Istanbul. Ambassador Özkeper expressed dedication to deepening ties with Cameroon and acclaimed the House Speaker's election, pledging to work under his guidance for concerted parliamentary action.
With the Honorable Speaker of Parliament is our dedication to further deepen and strengthen the bilateral relations between our two countries. There is so much potential we can exploit, and I stressed my readiness to him to work under his guidance, under his authority, to do what is needed.
The Speaker and the Ambassador also explore opportunities for collaboration in areas such as trade, investment, among others.
One thing, of course, that comes to mind is the existence of friendship groups both in the Turkish Parliament and the Cameroonian National Assembly. The groups are there. I think it is incumbent upon us to make sure that this group is revitalized. As such, we discussed the possibility of having a visit of the Cameroonian friendship group to Ankara and Istanbul at the earliest convenience.
In his meeting with the Chinese ambassador, His Excellency Zhu Yong, the Speaker discussed Cameroon-China cooperation, exploring new avenues for collaboration in infrastructure development, agriculture, technology, among others. The audience were attended by key officials including Honorable Lawson Tabot, Senator von Mokete, the Clerk of the House, Andre Noe Essien, the Director of Speaker's Cabinet, Professor Isaac Tamba, among others. This diplomatic engagement underscores Cameroon's commitment to strengthening parliamentary ties with Turkey and China, driving development initiatives that benefit its people. The Speaker's efforts are expected to yield significant benefits for Cameroon, including increased trade, investment, and economic growth. These diplomatic engagements underscore Cameroon's commitment to strengthening parliamentary ties with Turkey and China, driving development initiatives that benefit its people. The Speaker's efforts are expected to yield significant benefits for Cameroon, including increased trade, investment, and economic growth. The visit of the Cameroon-Turkey Parliamentary Friendship Group to Ankara and Istanbul is expected to further cement relations between the two countries and explore new areas of cooperation. As Cameroon continues to navigate the challenges of development, The country's parliament remains committed to working with the international partners to drive progress and prosperity for its people.
And as you heard in one of our lead stories, preparations have intensified in Yaoundé ahead of Pope Leo XIV's historic visit to Cameroon from April 15 to 18, 2026. The city is abuzz with activity as authorities, church leaders and volunteers are working tirelessly to ensure a welcoming environment. The Metropolitan Archbishop, His Grace Jean Barga, led extensive effort within churches and neighborhoods, including the display of banners. With the assistance of Madoshe Kuate, let's visit some streets in the city of Yaoundé in the following report. The city of Yaoundé is witnessing heightened activities as preparations intensify for the historic visit of Pope Leo XIV to Cameroon. From major roundabouts to church premises, sanitation teams and volunteers have been working tirelessly to ensure a clean and welcoming environment. Streets across the capital are being decorated while security measures have been reinforced to guarantee order and safety throughout the anticipated visit. Under the patronage of the Metropolitan Archbishop of Yaoundé, His Grace Jean Barga, the Roman Catholic Archdiocese of Yaoundé has coordinated extensive preparations within parishes and public spaces. Prominent among these efforts is the beautification of the Our Lady of Victory's Cathedral of Yaoundé, where banners bearing messages such as Apostolic Visit of His Holiness Pope Leo XIV to Cameroon and Welcome Holy Father, Our Lady of Victory Rejoices have been mounted. In addition, commemorative fabrics in green and blue colors are currently being sold around the church premises as part of souvenirs marking the papal visit. The apostolic visit is expected to draw thousands of faithful and dignitaries, reflecting its importance for the Catholic community and the nation at large. The Holy Father's stay in Cameroon is scheduled to take place from April 15 to 18, 2026 as part of a broader pastoral journey aimed at strengthening faith, promoting peace and fostering unity among believers. For many residents of Yaoundé and beyond, the upcoming visit represents a moment of spiritual significance and national pride as the country prepares to welcome the leader of the Catholic Church. We now talk health in this newscast where this 7th April 2026 marks the 78th anniversary of World Health Organization. The day is used to highlight a priority area of public health concern. In the following report, Promise Akante comes back to the place of World Health Organization in global health issues and what Cameroon has gained from the organization. Let's take a listen.
Together for Health, Stand with Science. That is the theme of the 2026 World Health Day, highlighting the role of science-led innovations in protecting the health of people, animals, and the planet. The anniversary of the WHO is celebrated annually on April 7, marking the date its constitution officially came into force in 1948. Save lives, prevent and cure diseases, promote well-being while providing endless source of inspiration for those who have devoted their lives for working towards it are some of the missions of the WHO. Actively engaged in Cameroon, focusing on strengthening the national health system, controlling infectious diseases, improving maternal and child health, and responding to health emergencies, the WHO aims at achieving universal health coverage and enhancing surveillance systems in Cameroon, with some key areas of acting ranging from advocacy to fieldwork. In March 2024, for example, the World Health Organization co-hosted the Malaria Ministerial Conference in Yaoundé, where Cameroon and 10 other high-burden countries signed the Yaoundé Declaration to accelerate the fight against malaria. This included supporting the introduction of the malaria vaccine, with reports showing success in vaccinating children by early 2025. The WHO is involved in improving emergency medical services, including conducting assessments in 2024 and 2025 2025 to develop a national roadmap for urgent care. The World Health Organization also supports surveillance for outbreaks like the mpox, yellow fever, and cholera, supports national immunization days against polio and other diseases, particularly targeting children under 5 and using digital tools for real-time tracking of vaccine coverage. The WHO provides technical assistance to improve access to HIV testing and treatment, contributing to high rates of viral suppression in the country. The Healthy Food Market Project, supported by the WHO, strengthens hygiene and sanitation in public markets in Douala to reduce foodborne diseases. In both mental health and traditional medicines, the WHO is actively engaged in supporting the government's strategy to survey and license traditional medicines practitioners to provide basic health services in rural areas. The results of these actions are palpable. For example, in June 2020, the WHO supported Cameroon in being declared free of wild polio virus. During the COVID-19 era, the WHO provided technical assistance and leadership in managing COVID-19 waves and vaccination campaigns. At both the rural and city levels, the WHO works with state and non-state structures to improve and provide health care to Cameroonians of all walks of life.
We are still talking health in this newscast, where Cameroon has joined the rest of the globe this April 7th to celebrate World Health Day. An adage says health is wealth. Thus, developing strategies to stay healthy is of utmost importance. From sports to eating well, citizens have their respective ideas to maintain their health. It is in this light that Promise Akante and Madoshe Kwiate spoke to some Yaoundé city dwellers and put together the following report.
Taking care of your health involves a holistic approach combining a nutritious diet, regular exercise, adequate sleep, and mental well-being. Yaoundé city dwellers have understood this and do everything within their power to stay healthy.
Le sport, c'est l'une des meilleures choses.
Sports is one of the best things to do to maintain your health. Just that in Cameroon, with the present conditions, it is sometimes not easy to do sports every day because there are lots of responsibilities. Pay the house, bills, you have to eat. So the young Cameroonian that I am, when I go out in the morning, it is to work.
Moi, je sors le matin, je vais pour travailler.
Key actions include eating whole foods, fruit, vegetables, lean proteins, exercising for at least 30 minutes daily, 7 to 9 hours of sleep, stress management, regular health screenings, and avoiding tobacco or excessive alcohol, maintaining positive, supportive relationships to support emotional well-being, which city dwellers also try to observe.
Je consomme des jus de fruits.
I consume fruit juice. I eat fruits. I do sports. And I don't look for trouble. Scheduling routine health screenings, vaccinations, and checkups with your doctor are also some important tips to consider.
Il y a des petits bobos.
There are little ailments. When it persists, you should go to the hospital, meet a doctor, and so on. Summarily, you should go to the hospital when you are not well.
Le résumé, il faut aller à l'hôpital.
And if sickness comes, despite the routines, respect the instructions of the doctor, abide by the do's and the don'ts. When I am sick, I go to the hospital. They say do not do certain things, do not touch water. I don't, because I know that it is to avoid falling sick. As the 2026 World Health Day is being observed this April 7, specialists are using the day to remind people of the 5 health pillars: nutrition, exercise, sleep, mental wellness, and social connections.
From Cameroon, let's take you beyond our borders to get updates of what make news. First up will be in South Sudan, where President Salva Kiir has reshuffled the leadership of South Sudan's parliament, dismissing the speaker and deputy speaker amid allegations of corruption and mismanagement. The president has appointed new parliamentary leaders as part of broader government changes. Second stop will be in Nigeria and then the US. These stories are compiled in the following report. The president of South Sudan, Salva Kiir, has dismissed the Speaker and Deputy Speaker of Parliament in a leadership shake-up announced through a presidential decree. The former Speaker, Gemma Nunukumba, who made history as the first woman to lead the legislature since 2021, was removed alongside her deputy, Premena Aweria, following mounting pressure from ruling party lawmakers who accused her of corruption and mismanagement of parliamentary funds. The president has since appointed Joseph Kere and Abuk Paiti Ayik as the new speaker and deputy speaker in what analysts see as part of broader recent changes within the government, including the earlier dismissal of the finance minister. Conflicting reports have escalated tensions in Kaduna State after a deadly church attack in Ariko village. While the Nigerian army says 31 people were rescued, local leaders and the Christian Association of Nigeria dispute the claim, warning that misinformation could hinder rescue efforts. The situation has also drawn international concern, including from Donald Trump, over persistent violence targeting Christian communities. Authorities have yet to issue a fresh response to the conflicting accounts. Residents say burials have already taken place, suggesting the death toll may be higher than officially reported. Donald Trump has issued fresh threats against Iran, warning that the country could face devastating military action as the United States and Israel intensify airstrikes linked to the ongoing conflict. The U.S. president cautioned that Iran could be taken out in one night, while also threatening to target key infrastructure if Tehran fails to reopen the strategic Strait of Hormuz, which has reportedly been blockaded since the crisis began. Meanwhile, Israeli forces carried out strikes on Iran's largest petrochemical facility, though plant operators later stated that the situation was under control. And it is with that news out of the country that we set the curtains to this edition of our 6 p.m. news over Camdis Television. Up next is Select 2, a presentation of Tabby Clarkson. Meanwhile, I will be yours again tomorrow when it's exactly 6 p.m. Stay tuned.